Dear mentors, in this video, we'll be talking about the growth mindset, which is a key aspect in the Math.co program. So let's start by looking at this picture. On the left, you can see the growth mindset, which reflects positive attitudes towards learning and towards intelligence. It says that intelligence is dynamic, that you can really change it, and that effort is okay. On the other hand, the fixed mindset has a completely different attitude towards ability and towards talent. So in the fixed mindset, challenges are not really valued. So let's dig deeper. So in the growth mindset, we say that talent and intelligence are dynamic, that you can grow your brain through hard work, challenges, and making mistakes, and that struggle actually helps your brain grow. It also tells you that you can develop skills, that skills are not fixed, that you can actually get better by practicing. The fixed mindset says that talent and intelligence are fixed. If you are born smart, you stay smart for your whole life. And if you're not, you just cannot get smart. So it's just kind of a lottery that you get from the beginning of your life. And that effort, therefore, should be avoided because there's no point. You're not going to change anything. If you are born without talent, you cannot develop it. So those are two different mindsets that people may have. And so let's think of an example that you're a chef or you want to become a chef and you cook this meal and it didn't turn out so well. So if you have the fixed mindset, you could be saying things like, I actually didn't think it was going to be that good. I'm not a chef after all. I failed. I will not try again. It was too difficult. I'll leave that to the talented people. So failure just sets you back. Now, if you have the growth mindset for cooking, you could say, it's interesting how I made these mistakes. I probably put this much sugar and maybe that was it. I can't wait to try it again. And maybe you cook the same day you cook again and maybe you do it well now, or you just fail again and you keep saying things like, maybe if I would have done this, it would have been better. What do you think about that? I made a lot of mistakes. I didn't think it was so hard, but now I'm so into it. So you see how the attitude that you can actually change and that mistakes help you learn, makes a difference. So in Math.co, we don't really want students to have growth mindset about cooking. I mean, it's good if they have, but what we actually want to do is develop the growth mindset in mathematics. And another video will actually talk about the growth mindset in mathematics. So the point is that you can have fixed mindset in some areas and the growth mindset in some other areas. We want the growth mindset in learning in general. So this theory was developed by Carol Dweck. And so what she did is she got some students, 4 years old, and she gave them some puzzles. And they were easy puzzles to begin with, so most of the kids, if not all, could actually do the task. And then she asked the kids, do you want to do a harder task or do you want to keep doing this puzzle that you actually know how to solve? And then she saw how the students with the growth mindset were eager to try new puzzles, even though that may mean that they would fail or they would struggle, but they really wanted challenges. They were not avoiding that. In the other hand, those students that have the fixed mindset, they were afraid to try new things and they rather choose to do the puzzle again. So this was done by her, and then she detected these two patterns that you could have. Good news is that you can actually change your fixed mindset and turn it into growth mindset. And we'll talk about ways to do that. So the key question for us in the Math.co program is, how can you promote as a mentor the growth mindset in your students? And to answer that question, there's many techniques and there's many ways, step-by-step procedures, etc. But the key thing is that you actually have to develop it yourself. You cannot really fake it. You cannot just teach it as you were teaching mathematics by just Actually, what you want to do is model it. If you have it yourself, just your students will notice and they will actually follow. So one thing that you can do, which is more concrete, is avoid saying you're so smart, you're so talented, you're so intelligent, because even though that sounds nice and we're used to these things, this actually promotes the fixed mindset, and it's a double-edged sword, so it can be very, very unbeneficial in the long term. So instead of praising the person, praise the effort or praise the process. So for example, instead of saying great job, you must be so smart, you could say great job, you must have worked really hard. So you're making the effort, have a lot of value. Because if you say you're so smart, the kid will think that he has to stay smart, for the whole time. So he'd rather not take risks, because if you take a risk, you could fail. And if I'm saying he's smart, then he wouldn't want to risk that. Instead of saying, see, you are good at math, you got an A on your last test, you could say, you really studied for your math test, and it really shows, your improvement shows it. Instead of saying, you got it, I told you that you were smart, you could say, I like how you tried all kinds of strategies on that problem until you finally solve it. It's even worse, some teachers can say, I knew, you're just not good at math. That's going to be kind of what we say in education is a self-fulfilling, claim, because if you say that, you're actually making it happen. So you have to be careful with that. And last, you're such a good student, it's better to say things like, I love the way you kept your concentration and you kept on working. That's great. So you're praising the effort, you're praising the process, you're praising things that the student can change, right? That they are dynamic. And in that way, you're promoting the growth mindset. So for students who have struggled despite trying hard, and that will happen a lot in our meetings, you could say things like, I admire your persistence and appreciate your effort and hard work. It will pay off. Or you could say, you can do it. It's tough, but you can. Let's see if we can break it down into easier steps together. So you want to go and do some feedback, some specifics. You don't want to stay very up in the cloud saying things you're good or you're bad. Go to specifics. That actually gives a path, and that makes the effort pay off. You could also say, you might be struggling with this, but I can see you're making progress in your learning. Or, of course, it's tough. If it was easy, would you be learning anything from it? So make the challenge worthwhile. How did you prepare for this? Could you do anything differently next time? So promote some reflection. When you reflect, you are aware that you can actually change your habits of mind. And finally, I expect you to make mistakes. It's by seeing your mistakes that I can learn how to help you. So it's putting in the table that making mistakes is good. Some tips to promote the growth mindset: encourage students to take risks at one specific opportunity and not be frightened to fail. If a student says, I can't do it, and add the word yet at the end of the sentence. It's too complicated. I cannot do this problem. You could say, you cannot do it yet. So just add the yet. Break difficult, complex tasks into their components. That's also good. Tell stories about peers who actually thought they will never learn math, but they did. And emphasize that fast learning is not the same as deep learning. Often students who take longer to get it, you could say that, learn the material more deeply because they struggle. And like from research in neuroeducation, we know that when you struggle, you actually are learning. So, that's the brain working. So finally, let's look at this table, just to summarize some key points in which the fixed and growth mindset have different opinions. So on intelligence, fixed mindset says it's fixed, and growth mindset it's not. It can change. Working hard, fixed mindset makes you vulnerable, so you better not work hard. Growth mindset makes you smarter. Failure is negative in the fixed mindset, shows that you're not smart, and in the growth mindset, it's an opportunity, and it helps you learn. praise the fixed mindset, you praise intelligence. And growth mindset, you praise the process, the effort. And in teaching, and this is especially important for you mentors, if you had the fixed mindset, you would say something like, my role is just to teach. I shouldn't waste time in non-talented kids. They're not going to learn. So why the effort? But in the growth mindset, you would say, I learn when I teach. That's why I'm selfish. I teach because I want to learn. And I am fascinated to witness this learning process. All the obstacles, all the struggles, that's actually the joy for a teacher having the growth mindset. He thrives on them. And finally, discipline in the fixed mindset is made to judge and punish because, things are fixed. So you just judge, you just punish. But in the growth mindset, it's more like a contract, like a negotiation. So it helps you think and learn. So I'm going to use discipline because it actually helps you develop. So I really hope you like this video. I'll leave you with this cartoon just to reflect a little bit about it. Thank you.